some real things that have been going on. So right off the bat, you might notice that I'm in a room. I decided to take a job outside of Tucson on a dude ranch. A big part of that decision was just because I was struggling really hard with living out of my car in the winter in Cottonwood and Sedona. It was much colder than I was expecting, and just having to hold down a job and deal with all of that was a little bit too much for me for the winter time. So I started this job at the Dude Ranch just a few days ago. I'm loving it so far. This room is awesome. It's free room and board, 3 meals a day, so it's really cutting down on my expenses, and I think will just help me be living a little bit of a healthier life like I've been wanting to. So I recently started a new bullet journal. The timing worked out really great with my old one. I have like 2 pages left and it's almost the end of the year, which is kind of funny because I started this one really spontaneously in October, and it was really fun. There's so much random stuff in here. There's like this cool painting, but I really enjoyed like just journaling too, doing whatever. I like having the bullet journal just to put in like whatever I want and really customize it. Having like ADHD and some other mental health issues, this has been like a tool that allows me to be creative and organize my life in a way that works for me. So yeah, you can read up more on bullet journaling if you want, but I kind of wanted to show you guys what my 2022, oh my goodness, plan looks like so far. This is my little start page, and I'm going to kind of walk you through everything and talk you through what I did. And hopefully this will help me get my shit together, because oh my god, I am so tired of struggling and being in debt and being broke and cold and all of these things. So I'm really working to put myself in a better situation, and yeah, this is just one little piece of that, but one that I thought I might share because it's kind of fun. So anyway, let's get to it. This is the page that I fucked up the most. Oh my goodness. You can still see this one, but I messed up all of March. I haven't fixed that yet. These are hard because they're so tedious, but I do really like being able to flip back to it, see all of my important, birthdays, like my brother and his wife are getting married next year, things like that I want to keep on here. So it is helpful, but I've seen people just print them off, and I might do that in the future because this is annoying. I'm honestly not too sure how it'll look with all the alternating colors, but if I am doing good about moving every day, hopefully it'll look really nice, and I'll check back on that in a month. Last page is super helpful if you are like me and you struggle with forgetting random important tasks like changing your toothbrush or waterproofing your tent, which I only recently learned you're supposed to do like annually, like upping your waterproofing on your gear. So as a side note, make sure you're staying on top of that. But yeah, this can be helpful to just track some of those things that don't get done often enough and just kind of slip your mind. Some of you may have heard heard about this. It's a Dave Ramsey thing, which I feel a little like about. But I read from some people who said that they did it and it worked really well for them. My biggest reason for choosing this is just that I have a lot of debt from, I was in a car accident a few years ago and I had to miss work for a long time. I was working as a massage therapist. I ended up getting bit by a dog on my hand, and that was like extra time. Long story short, I had to go into a lot of credit card debt just so that I was able to buy like groceries, gas, things like that, just to survive, which really sucked. And I hate that, our healthcare system and our society is like structured in such a way that that sort of thing happens to a lot of people. My case isn't even like that bad. I know people that are in so much medical debt, and it sucks that we have to deal with it ourselves, but I also am tired of being stressed out about it, and as much as I would love to just ignore my debts, like I'm doing with my student loan, because I'm hoping that Biden or somebody finally forgives student loans, as they should, but anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to try more of a structured tactic of dealing with my debt, because what I'm doing right now is making minimum payments, and then occasionally if I have some extra money on a paycheck or something, I'll just throw, a couple extra $100 onto one of my credit card payments, and I haven't been doing it in any kind of like targeted way or in any way that, I don't know, makes sense at all. So I'm trying a method which my brain likes and enjoyed, kind of like laying this all out really nicely. I think it'll help me like stay on track and see if I'm actually making progress. And yeah, I'll update you guys maybe in a few months or something and see if it's actually working out at all for me. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. One of my favorite things that I started doing in my last year's bullet journal, I guess this is a year and a half really, I would, at the beginning of the month, let's see if I can find one. Okay, so here's an example. At the beginning of the month, I would just write down like random significant things that happened, mostly positive stuff, but like bad stuff too, just anything that I wanted to remember. Little things like my friend cooking me dinner, or the Little Red Bookstore opening in Denver, doing like yoga and having a really nice day, stuff like that. At the end of the year, it was really nice to just flip back through and see like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that, or like texting a friend saying, hey, do you remember when we did this thing? Those little moments that could so easily slip your mind. I think it's just nice to remember and just to kind of see all of the things that have happened. I mean, I had a huge year personally, and it's just really neat to kind of look back through all of that. So that's one of my favorite things, and I'm definitely going to continue that tradition into 2022. For my monthly budget page, I decided to add an expense tracker, which I haven't done before, just so I can keep a better eye on exactly what I'm spending money on. And then I also decided to do a little bit of a goal. So this month's goal for January is going to be to eat out less. It's kind of funny, I came up with that goal and created this page a few days before I got this job and decided to move down here. So I'm probably not going to be eating out in January at all. Maybe once or twice if I decide to go into town, but realistically probably not going to be eating out at all, which is great, because I definitely need to save that money, and the food out here is actually pretty good and healthy, so it's good for my body and good for my budget, so that worked out nicely. I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do weekly spreads until I got my schedule for this job, and I'm still kind of getting used to things. The schedule here is really interesting and a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I decided to just keep it simple for now. And then one of the things I started doing more towards the end of 2021 was just kind of free writing and journaling about different things that I was like just kind of dwelling on. I also have wild dreams like almost every night and I try to write them down. I think some of them I might try to like turn into short stories one day or something, so I decided to just do reflections and dreams, just to focus a little bit more on writing and a little bit less on scheduling and tasks, just because my lifestyle right now isn't really focused on that kind of thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at. All I wanna be, for watching today. I know this video is a little bit different than what you usually see on my channel, but I wanted to just kind of share a little bit more about my story and what's going on in my life. As another little side note, something exciting about my work and living situation, there's a full workshop on site here, and I now have access to power tools, yay! I have a few projects for Ruby that I've kind of pushed to the back burner just because I don't have a table saw or a jigsaw or any of that kind of stuff in my car, obviously. But I have them on site here, and there's a few other girls here who are also working on their cars and their own build outs, so I think we're all gonna get to hang out and kind of work on our projects together. So I'm super excited about that, and I'll definitely be sharing some updates from those projects with you guys. So thanks again for being here, and I'll see you next time. And here's a quick peek at my room. I have this little space all to myself, which is super nice and kind of unusual for employee housing. And then I just share a bathroom with my super sweet and awesome neighbor. This thing even has a closet. Amazing. I love it here. Alright, I'm gonna go for a walk.